And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I'm Michael DeLon, and today I am talking with the one and only Julia Hurley. Julia, thanks for being here today.
Always my pleasure. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. It's going to be a vibrant conversation. So if you're anywhere, you just might as well sit down and buckle in because I found somebody on earth who's more passionate, more energetic than I am, I think. Julia does a lot of things. Her second favorite thing to do in life really is to meet people and bring outsiders into Knoxville. So she's a top realtor in Knoxville. We're not talking about Knoxville, but if you ever want to go to Knoxville, she's your girl. And she does TV and she does radio and she's got all kinds of things going on. But she says that's her second favorite thing to do in life. And I'm like, really? What's your first? That's what we want to talk about. Julia is an efficiency and systems expert for small business owners, and she can come in and diagnose where your systems are either not present or malfunctioning and fix them so that you can be more profitable, get back to the life you want. And that's what we're going to talk about. So Julia, my question is, how in the world did you get to doing that?
I had to create my own efficiency system to run my own business, and it was an interesting few years. So when you go from having, I want to put in quotations, a normal life, you work, basic 40 hours a week and you're like, this is great, I have a fun life. And then you go to running a real estate firm and you work 80 hours a week and you gain 45 pounds and you don't take care of yourself. And you are literally the only person that touches, talks to you, creates, functions, calls back, texts back. You have no leverage and it's just you. You have a mental breakdown. I was this close to burnout. And I thought to myself, this is ridiculous. People do this at such higher levels all over the country. There's got to be an easier way to do this. So I created an efficiency system for real estate agents, businesses from the ground up. And as I was traveling all over the country, teaching this one-on-one to agents and their teams, I was actually saving agents, like larger firms, obviously 6 figures plus a year, and getting their agents to a level of conversation where they were making 6 figures plus a year. Mm-hmm. So when you're on a team, usually your split is either, like 25, 35, 40, whatever it is. You're paying the team lead, and the team lead, who would be the person whose name's on the sign, just like mine, is the person who spends all the money and does all the things and hires all the people. But if you're not training your people on efficiency, what you're doing is giving away your money and not making them as much. And the whole point at the end of the day, like I said, my second favorite thing to do is relocate people to Knoxville. My number one favorite thing is financial freedom and success for others. That is my number one most passionate project. And when you teach people efficiency in their businesses and how to run a business and not be an employee of their business, you are giving them freedom. And I get to witness that and experience that. And most of the time they do end up buying an investment property right here in Knoxville, Tennessee with me anyway. So it's a win-win.
Absolutely. I love it, love it, love it. And one of the things that you didn't use this phrase, but I know it's there, is so many of the coaches that are out there and the business growth people, they're the bane of my existence because all they talk about are top line revenues. We're going to get you to be a 7-figure business. Oh, by the way, you're only going to net 80,000.
Right.
And no. Net profit's like the number. Yeah. And between gross and net, there are a lot of systems and ways that you're probably losing cash and you're not managing people well. It's all systems. So let's talk about that because business owners struggle with systems. They hear it all the time. Are you talking like I have to go buy software, or is this something with managing people, or is it a spreadsheet? What, I mean, give us some ideas of where realtors, business owners, because they're all the same really at the end of the day, how do we manage and grow our business using some systems?
Sure. And it is all the same. It's the same from mom and pop soda shop to Google. It's all the same. A business is a business is a business. Your bottom line net profit drives who you can be around versus who you are being around. That in and of itself is the number one focus. So as a business owner, we like to call ourselves rain makers. We are making it rain. We're the reason that everybody exists. 1 employee to 5 million employees. It's our big ideas. It's all of the things and the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into it. And that's fantastic. And we own that. And we're so proud of that. And as small business owners who have less than 5 employees, they cling to it. I mean, it is their say, like, oh, I can't step away. I can't do this. You don't understand what I went through to build this. And once you step away from seeing that part of you and create a system and model around your own personality to attract the opposite personalities, you can build something amazing. Most people don't get past their own self as employee. They literally will never hire outside of themselves. They just don't do it. So the number one step I always say, aside from actually setting up a business, so that's a long different conversation of, do you have the right credit card? Do you have the right bank account? Do you have the right EIN? Did you hire the right attorney? I mean, those are all real questions. And if you have to start from scratch, well, that's a different conversation. But let's talk about, you're not starting from scratch. Let's talk about, you are working that 80-hour work week. You didn't go to the gym in the last 6 months. Your relationships are failing and your dog is starving and all of the things that you neglect, including everybody and everything around you, but you've got money, or so you think.
Yeah.
You know you need to hire, and now you've panicked yourself into a panic hire. That is not efficient. What you have created is desperation because you did not prepare for what was coming, because you didn't have a system. You had an idea. So you need to know who you are. One of my biggest and most, what I honestly push is a DISC profile. That's the number one thing, DISC, a DISC profile by Tony Robbins. Absolutely fantastic. Pay for the expensive one. They're like $59. Okay, it's not that much. Take the DISC and know exactly who you are and who you aren't.
Amen.
And the minute you can figure out what you are lacking, you start finding that person.
Yeah.
Period. And you don't hire the first one. You don't hire the fifth one. You interview at least 40 to 50 candidates and you ask the right questions. So that's called a KPA. You're going to KPA them. How do you get one of those? You buy it. It's a system that you purchase with that gives you questions and automatic ways to weed people out. And if you've gotten as successful as having to work an 80-hour week and bringing in that kind of money to have to hire someone or to be able to hire someone, you know exactly what you need. So listen to those red flags. So know who you are and know who you aren't.
That's
so
beautiful.
when you start interviewing people, now you can create a real system. And that person's usually your DO, your director of operations. You are the rainmaker. It's your name. It's your face. You're the pretty one. You shake the hands and kiss the babies. And I bet $1 to a donut, you have a stack of business cards this big that you've never put into a follow-up system, and every lead you've ever been given, including the foot traffic through the door. You have no idea who they are. And they're on 25 different spreadsheets and nobody's put them together, but you're going to do it one day.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
So you need that DO. You need that other person. You've grown to a pain point. Do not let yourself get to a point where you hire in pain. You need to hire with reality. So finding that opposite person, your director of operations, if you've already gotten that and you're still saying, Julia, things are so bad, things are so efficient, I am not making money at the end of the day, that's a whole different system. Right. So there are systems for systems for systems. So if you figured out hiring and you don't have that problem and you have employees and they love you and they're staying and you have retention, Jesus, you're ahead of us. 95% of people out there, you're already winning. And I know it feels like you're not, but you are. You're winning if you can hire and retain and you're getting the job done. That is a huge bonus. Okay. So that's one system. Then you have the financial system. What are you running for your finances? Are you taking payments? Are you paying too much on the credit card side? Are you not watching your literal pennies?
Yep.
Literal pennies. Because if you own the business, you're going to pay everybody but yourself. And if you aren't getting paid at the end of the day, your pennies are going somewhere. Where are they going? Overspending on marketing? Are we overspending on social media? Are we having too many coffee parties at the office? What are you doing? Where's your money going? Oh, you don't know because you don't track it. Well, we're going to create a system for that. And no, you don't have to have software to do any of this. Google is free. Google Sheets will literally do all of this for $15.99 per user per month. That is the cheapest system you'll ever have. Google it. Everything that you need is on Google. And I'm not a Google advocate. They're not the easiest to use, but they are free.
Yep.
And it will cost you nothing.
Yep.
So
That's
create
awesome.
that financial system. Track your money, honey. Right?
Hey.
That's your third system. So you've got your building. I've built a business system. I've got my hiring and firing system. I've got my tracking of my money system. My DO went over here and created a follow-up system that I didn't even have to create because that's their personality. That's what you needed. So now they're doing a whole system. You all meet up once a week, whether you like it or not. Once a week, whether you like it or not. And you go over every single thing with every single person in your purview
Yep.
that you give responsibility to. Why are you giving them responsibility? Because you need a break. You need to go back to the gym.
Yep.
You need to see your kids and feed your dog. Okay. So those are the systems that we start creating inefficiency. And it feels like it's not efficient. It's more work upfront. 100%. You are going to probably burn out during this process. But when it's done properly and you find that other half of you, and things start creating themselves and your money's working, and now you can start letting your money work for you, you've created an efficient system, and then you can grow after that.
Absolutely. All right, pause. That's enough. Only because there's so much stuff that we need to dive back into, right?
Sure.
The vision. Okay, here's what I want my audience to understand. When Julie is here talking about this, she's obviously a super experienced business owner. She's a super experienced coach in this area, even though this is like not the primary thing you do in life, but it's the one that drives you, and you help people find that financial freedom. Most business owners move from being a technician to being a business owner so they can get freedom. What they find is they actually put themselves in prison most of the time because nobody teaches what you just went through.
Right.
And they'll spend their life trying to find which coach is right for this, which coach is right for that. And what I'm trying to say right now is Julia might be the right person for all of this because she is a business owner. She is you. She's built these systems for herself, and she understands. If you just go back and re-listen to what she just said, okay, it's you understanding how to set up a real business.
Right.
Number one, don't intermingle your personal money and your business money. Don't do that. Hiring. My son is my chief operating officer. He uses Colby versus Disc, right? But when he got ready to hire his assistant, he had them take Colby. He said, because I want somebody just like me, because he's operational and that's what he needed to hand off. So he made them take Colby. He's like, boop, there they are. Then he interviewed them and put them in place because he knew his strengths and what that role was. He and I are complete opposites. So going back to your disc, know who I am, know who I'm not. So Julia, you don't know this, but the rest of my audience does. I'm good at 4 things in life. Okay. I'm wicked good at these 4 things. Outside of that, I am mediocre at best. So I hire, build systems, and let people run my business for me because my vision is to get out of my business. I want my business to run like McDonald's over there. It's a franchise system, and we're building systems to make that happen because I have the vision. My first hire years ago was really scary. But here's what I found, and I want you to speak in this. Every time I hire somebody properly, train them well, my revenue goes up and I get more time back.
So every single time you make the right hire, whatever you pay them, they should return to you threefold. If that is not happening, they have to go. You hired wrong. I don't care how much you like them. I don't care how great they are or personable or how much you all chat about your things and they're your friend. If they do not return 3 times what you pay them, they have to go. Period. And I know that employees are hearing this and going, that's awful. All you care about is money. No, what I care about is growth so I can also hire somebody for you. I respect you as an employee. I'm not passing everything off on you. I want you to learn your role 6 months to a year, and I want you to hire your next assistant. Absolutely. I want you to increase your revenue so I can hire your replacement so that way you get more too. So if you're not bringing in 3 times what I am paying you, I can't pay the next person and I can't give you more.
That's right. And I do this so that you, employee, can have more free time, more money, and more life.
Right.
Because this job should not be your life, right? I want you to be committed. But if you're working, I've always had the philosophy, Julia, that if I work more than 40 hours a week, I'm doing something wrong. I don't have enough people or systems. That's just my philosophy. I've lived by it for years. It served me really well because I love free time. Freedom is my number one drive, right?
Sure.
In order to get that, I need financial freedom. And to do that, I can't be the bottleneck. One of my mentors in marketing, he says a business will grow to the length of the shadow of the owner. Until the owner understands systems and processes and hiring and all of that. That's as big as your business will ever get. I wanted a bigger business than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so All right. So hiring, that's a big deal. The Colby, the disc profiles. I love know who you are and who you aren't.
Yeah.
And most of the time, entrepreneurs, we are idea generating people. We're those big idea peoples. That usually that's not the same person who runs the company. I've met a couple in my life who do both, but many times it's not. Great. Hire it. Let somebody else do it. But build a system. I love what you said, the check-in. My son and I run our company on Traction. And it's the weekly rhythm of what's going on. And he's out learning all kinds of financial things and understanding how much free cash on hand do we have in the business. I didn't know we had free cash. He's finding it. He's finding it. Running on profit first. We went profit first a couple years ago. Oh my goodness. I pay myself first before anybody else. I love that.
Yeah.
Systems, right? That's what Julia can help you do regardless of what industry you're in. That's irrelevant.
Right. It's all the same.
If you're in business, business is business, just like in marketing, it's all marketing, right? It's what's your vision as a business owner. And if you as a business owner really want to just be a high paid employee and that's what you want, then great, praise God. It's okay. It's not wrong. But there are a lot of people who say I'm a business owner, but in reality, you're not.
Yeah.
Because you're
in
not
reality, you're a hobby owner with some money, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Great.
You want to have the little coffee stand 7 days a week, and you want to be there and have it open by 5 a.m. for breakfast all day, and you love doing that. I am so happy that you love what you do, and I love that for you, and I'll come buy your coffee.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be that person that has to open up shop at 4:30 in the morning and meet the trucks and do all the inventory and make all the phone calls and return all the phone calls and return all the emails and check all the emails and still have a family after it's all said and done with, I'm your gal.
That's right. No, I love that. I love that because there's so much, because business owners, they just keep hitting the wall.
Yeah.
And they're always looking for the next shiny object, right? And here's the reality. As much as I love Tony Robbins and all those guys, a lot of those programs are good, but they're educational in nature. They're not, I want to walk with you through this process. And if they do, it's like, okay, I'm going to help you here, but I can't help you over there. And what Julia has the experience of is building a business and growing it and delegating and managing it, and then helping dozens of other businesses across the country do exactly the same thing by building systems. And so if you're out there as a business owner, you're listening to this, you're going, oh, that sounds really good. Let me encourage you to reach out to Julia and maybe even fly to Knoxville for a weekend and talk with her and hang out with her, because Knoxville is a great town. But talk to her and find out how she can help you break through some of those barriers, because some of them are mental barriers, how we think, but some of them are just the, what do I do? How and a conversation with Julia and working with her is going to be able to help you find so much clarity. You obviously have a cheerleader in your court, and somebody who's going to say, no, do it this way. Go this way. Here's what we need to do. And here's the next 3 steps. Here's what we're going to do. And in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months, what you're going to find is, yeah, there's a lot of hard work. It's like doing push-ups, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of hard work, but you're going to build the biceps. And in a year, you're going to look really good in your business. Julia is going to say, great, take a week, go to Costa Rica, and don't worry about your business, because it'll be here when you get back.
It is always going to be all of it. Whatever it is that you're having to deal with today will always be there tomorrow. I promise.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. That's the upside and the downside of it, isn't it? And you'll probably think about it on the beach in Costa Rica, but you won't have to do anything if you set up the right systems and people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can actually unplug and stop working 80 hours a week, unless you just want to. I choose not to. And I love the life that I have. And I think that's where I get the sense, Julia, you kind of love your life as well. And
I do.
that's what we want as entrepreneurs, is to go, let's get out of the rat race, the grind, and let's enjoy life. Let's do the things we really love to do. And systems are part of that. And I think sometimes business owners think systems is a nasty word. It's a 4-letter word.
Well, it's stressful. And they hire people that aren't systems. They hire coaches. It's
Yes.
like, oh, my coach and I talk every week. I'm like, how much you pay for it? $250 for half an hour once a week. Great. What'd y'all talk about? Oh, well, they keep me on track with how they ask for these numbers. And then they say, well, okay, well, let's do this one thing this week. I'm like, yeah, that's not a system that somebody that's charging you $250 once a week to keep you on the hook, because they're coaching you like a therapist instead of giving you a business system and model and removing themselves from it so you can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to summarize Julia Hurley with one word, and that's growth.
Yeah.
If you want to grow a business. And it's not an overnight pill, people. It takes time, but trust me, it is so worth it. And if she is definitely the one you need to reach out to. Julia, how do people find you? Where do they go if they're sitting here going, okay, I need some help, Julia?
Yeah. So just call me. My cell phone number is literally everywhere, and I'll set it out right here. It's 865-237-7328. Text me, call me. My mailbox is probably full, so probably text me.
I love it.
But I always text back. I mean, it's not a situation. We set aside time twice a day to return text messages and emails. So,
all right, therein is a system in and of itself.
yep.
She's not checking email every 3 minutes, people.
Right.
Right? Set aside time to check your email and your text and do it then, because that frees up your time to do other things. We need to have you back, but that's another issue.
I'd love to.
Julia Hurley, thank you so much.
My
This has been incredible. I'm going to capture everything that we talked about. I'm going to put it down in the show notes, along with your website to your real estate firm in Knoxville, justhomesgroup.com. Because if somebody does need to go to Knoxville, or if they want to invest in real estate in Knoxville, Julia can definitely help you there. But she can also help you grow your business by guiding you and directing you around systems in a lot of different areas. So reach out to Julia. You've got her cell phone number, her text her. It'll be in the show notes. Julia, thank you. This has been amazing.
Thank you so much.